There's something we need to address about later eating windows like 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. that's often promoted as convenient for people who aren't morning people or who work schedules that make early eating difficult. While I understand the appeal and the lifestyle fit, we have to talk about the potential downsides, particularly regarding sleep quality and overnight metabolic processes. This isn't about being dogmatic. It's about understanding trade-offs so you can make informed decisions about whether this timing pattern serves your overall health. Eating within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime consistently shows negative effects on sleep architecture in research studies. Your core body temperature needs to drop for quality sleep. Digestion keeps your core temperature elevated. When you eat a substantial meal at 8 or 9 p.m. and try to sleep by 10 or 11, your body is simultaneously trying to digest food and initiate sleep processes, and these compete with each other. Polysomnography studies show more fragmented sleep, less time in deep sleep stages, and more nighttime awakenings when people eat close to bedtime compared to finishing eating several hours earlier. Growth hormone secretion is another critical factor. Most growth hormone release happens during deep sleep, particularly in the first few hours after sleep onset. Growth hormone is anabolic, helping maintain muscle mass, supporting fat metabolism, and promoting tissue repair. But growth hormone secretion is suppressed by insulin. When you eat late and go to bed with elevated insulin levels, you're interfering with this important overnight hormonal pattern. Over time, this could affect body composition and recovery, particularly if you're trying to build or maintain muscle. Nocturnal glucose levels tell an important story. Studies using continuous glucose monitoring show that people who eat late often have elevated glucose throughout much of their sleep period. Their bodies are working through the night to bring down blood sugar rather than entering a true fasted, rested state. This constant overnight metabolic work might contribute to insulin resistance over time. There's something to be said for going to bed in a genuinely fasted state where glucose and insulin have returned to baseline, allowing overnight metabolic processes to focus on repair and restoration rather than nutrient processing. Overnight fat oxidation is affected by meal timing too. Your body shifts into fat-burning mode during extended fasting periods, typically several hours after your last meal. If you eat at 9 p.m., you might not enter significant fat oxidation until 2 or 3 a.m., giving you only a few hours before you wake and eat again. Earlier eating cutoffs, say finishing by 6 p.m., give you substantially more hours in fat-burning mode overnight. While this shouldn't be overemphasized, for people trying to lose weight, those extra hours of fat oxidation might contribute to slightly better outcomes over time. Acid reflux and heartburn are more common with late eating, particularly when lying down shortly after meals. Gravity helps keep stomach contents down when you're upright. When you recline soon after eating, gastric contents more easily reflux into the esophagus. This isn't just uncomfortable. Chronic acid reflux can damage esophageal tissue and significantly impair sleep quality. People with reflux problems almost always benefit from earlier eating cutoffs. But here's where individual variation and life circumstances matter. If you're a true night owl with a late chronotype, if you work evening shifts, if you exercise in the evening and need post-workout nutrition, forcing yourself to stop eating at 5 p.m. creates different problems. You might experience crushing hunger in the evening, impaired workout recovery, or social isolation from evening family meals. The stress and poor adherence from fighting your natural rhythms could outweigh the sleep and metabolic benefits of earlier eating. Some research suggests that consistency might matter more than absolute timing for certain outcomes. If you consistently eat from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. and sleep from midnight to 8 a.m., your body can adapt to that pattern to some degree. Your circadian system responds to consistent cycle bursts. If your eating pattern is predictable, even if it's later than ideal, your body adjusts better than if your eating times are erratic and unpredictable. So there's an argument that a consistent 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. pattern might be better than inconsistent eating that's sometimes early, sometimes late, with no pattern at all. Here are some harm reduction strategies if you need to maintain a later eating window. Keep your last meal smaller and lighter, focusing on easily digestible foods rather than heavy, fatty meals that take longer to process. Emphasize protein and vegetables over large amounts of carbohydrates or fats in your evening meal. Consider having your largest meal earlier in your eating window, maybe at 1 or 2 p.m., with progressively smaller meals as the evening goes on. This front-loads calories when your metabolism is more active. Take a walk after your last meal to help with digestion and glucose clearance before bed. Elevate the head of your bed if you experience any reflux symptoms. The ideal scenario, if your life circumstances allow it, is probably finishing eating by 6 or 7 p.m., giving yourself 3 to 4 hours before sleep. This aligns well with circadian biology, supports better sleep quality, allows for overnight fasting periods that promote fat oxidation and cellular repair, and reduces reflux risk. But I recognize that ideal isn't always practical. If the 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. window is what makes intermittent fasting sustainable for you, and the alternative is not doing any structured eating pattern at all, it might still provide benefits even if it's not optimally timed. Just be aware of the potential sleep and metabolic trade-offs, monitor how you actually feel and sleep, and be willing to adjust if you notice problems emerging.